Welcome guys to my long-awaited basic guide to KAYO. I know you guys have been asking for guides and lineups ever since I started this channel, and although we released a few, I definitely want to put out more guides so that all of you guys can learn about this amazing agent that I love playing so much. We'll start with a basic guide on how to play KAYO so you can understand the basic fundamentals that allow you to start playing KAYO more confidently in your games. Then soon, I'm uploading a series of how to play KAYO on each map with lineups for attack, defense, setups, and full map lineups, so look out for those. Alrighty, let's get started. KAYO's main role in your games ultimately boils down to two things. Number one, stopping the enemy team in the middle of their pushes, becoming a disruptor. So what does that mean? A disruptor is someone who interrupts their plans or an event that they want to happen. KAYO's kit perfectly disrupts someone by mauling their entrance, denying their vision, and suppressing their abilities, and interrupting any plans for a clean and smooth game plan. Number two, setting up traps and plays to punish the enemy team with your flashes. Both of these things can cause KAYO to disrupt the enemy team. His main role is not only an initiator, but a disruptor. As much as I hype how you could play KAYO as a super supporty role, it's not the only thing he does, and you shouldn't tunnel vision on doing that if you're eyeing to pick him up in your arsenal of agents to play. Let's dive in and take a deeper look at understanding these two goals as a KAYO. Number one, stopping the enemy team in the middle of their pushes. Essentially becoming a disruptor. In the most simplest form, KAYO can disrupt the enemy team by stopping fast rushes. Let's start with examples because I believe that's the best way to understand KAYO is through real game examples. In this first clip here, my main plan of this round is to get early information with this knife. A very common fast rush is B on a sens. A lot of teams will run the Omen blind B main and then scale up with that super fast. A way that you could disrupt this push is throwing a knife at this spot here. As you see, my knife suppresses 5 here. This allows my team to smoke the choke point B main and allows my team to rotate over and help hold the site more. And now the team either explore other options of the map, or if some enemies already committed, this could lead to a very scuffed and disrupted push and therefore leading to a round win. But you get the point. You could either fight with flashes and have teammates rotate over so that you guys can have a more stacked site. Another way to disrupt enemies is to have cross-map knife lineups to have presence in 2 parts of the map. This allows you to get strong value off your utility this way. Let's take this clip for example. I start dice where I have a knife lineup for B main and then I have my flash ready to fight A main if my knife scans nothing and my teammates potentially hear people A main. Luckily, I have a trap setup play with one teammate Wine and I double flash for him and we were able to get 2 kills off of that. Let's take a look from the enemy perspective.
I wonder if I'll be blind this round. Wait.
Oh, he's not here.
I just saw it come back to you.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna trap set up with 1 block.
This is what is strong about KAYO, and it probably is the most fun part about playing KAYO, is being able to be in 2 parts of the map. Say my knife were to land B main and it would scan, 3 or 4 enemies, then I would know it's a B rush or a B push, and it would allow my teammates to rotate to B fast enough and to be able to support the guys on B. Number 2, setting up traps and plays to punish the enemy team with your flashes. So KAYO has the best pop flashes in the game, and to capitalize off this, there are 2 ways you could set up flash traps. One is the aggressive flash and one is the passive flash. That's why you hear me in my games when I ask my teammates, you guys want the aggressive or passive flash? This will indicate what type of play that we're doing and what the setup is. Let's start with an example of an aggressive flash. In this clip, I throw an aggressive flash to fight B main, and my teammate capitalizes off of it. He was able to get 4 kills and almost even got the ace. Now here's the alternative. When enemies start to notice that you're playing aggressive, you can start to switch to a more passive play, and this is where I like to switch it up to a passive flash style. In this clip, you could see I'm waiting here to throw a passive flash for my teammate to peek off of, and he's able to capitalize and get 3 kills off of it. The reason why these plays work so well is because KAYO has the best pop flashes in the game and it's really hard to dodge these. And therefore, you can capitalize off of specific timings. And that sums up the 2 type of trap plays that you could do with KAYO flashes is usually summed up by either aggressive or passive flashes. KAYO setup traps are the prime way I play KAYO. On the defender side, it's important to have a plan before you start a round, communicate with your teammates, and execute properly. It's why you see me play with very big multi-killing streamers like KAYO and Temet. They can capitalize off my flashes. When you start setting up, you need to try to figure out which part of the map where KAYO is most effective. There's always a place where each agent is always best played, and KAYO is no exception. This is where we make our lineups according to where KAYO's best spot on the map is. For example, on a sense, I like to play dice a lot on A, the cross map lineup to B, the flashes for A, vice versa. You guys know what's up. So find these spots on each map and try to make your lineups around the spots that are the best for KAYO. I'll go more in detail on that on my KAYO map guide series. Maximizing KAYO requires us to find certain lineups that help him the most. His standard left click blind lasts for 2.25 seconds, but with the most recent KAYO buffs, we don't need to solely rely on the left click alone. We can utilize his right click, combo it with different abilities, and carry the game to victory. So you don't need to memorize every lineup, but it would be great if you do. This applies to the cross map knife lineup. Instead of throwing the knife across the map and flashing for your teammate, you could also throw the knife across the map and then self-flash for yourself. This is just as effective, and it allows you to capitalize off of your own flashes and be more aggressive. Now, let's go over the set of rules that you might not know on KAYO. KAYO's standard left click throw for his flash travels 25 meters when standing still, 35 meters for a run throw, 15 meters for a walk backwards throw, and 36 meters and above a run jump throw. And then for KAYO's underhand throw, it is 5 meters for a right click. The walk backwards throw is a special flash. It doesn't really decrease the distance it flies. What it actually does is it slows down and it suspends the flash in the air, which is why it is a strong flash in situations where you need to make something on the fly. This helps us understand when to throw a flash or in hectic situations where you need to come up with a flash on the spot. In this example, I am trying to set up my teammate to fight Link, and I don't exactly have a lineup for this, and I ping the box and it's about 16 meters. So this is where I do a walk backwards throw, and as you can see, it is a perfect pop for my teammate and he capitalizes off of it with a kill. This applies to all the different distances and meters. Utilize your pings in game and remember your distances so you could throw a flash from anywhere without having an exact lineup. This will make your games feel more fluid, and you'll notice that you're able to capitalize off your flashes much more often from anywhere. Now let's briefly go over KAYO's molly. KAYO's molly travels 25 meters and is good for clearing corners and pushing enemies into a flash zone. When you look at KAYO's molly, more damage is done in the middle of the circle versus the outer circle. KAYO's mollies also goes through walls and floors. Take this clip for example. I pop KAYO wall and I throw a molly for Jen and a flash for Sight. The flash hits Leah and my molly is landing at the same time. The flash pushes her into the molly, which would normally be a safe zone for her. But then my molly pushes her out into the open, forcing her to fight. This is a great example of how to use the molly and flash together to maximize value. This is where molly lineups can be very useful when learning KAYO. Now let's go over KAYO on attack. KAYO on attack is fairly simple. Basically, you just follow your duelists, support them with utility to help them get to sight, use your knife to suppress any enemies to making it easier to get onto sight, whether that be a sentinel or other agents. Use your mollies to clear any corners to reduce the amount of angles that your duelists have to clear. Follow it up with a flash to get them into the flash zone, allowing your duelists to enter sight. The other hand is being a phoenix and flashing yourself onto sight and doing it yourself. Here's an example of how I help my team attack a site. I start by knifing close to see if anyone's close. 2 get suppressed. I throw a molly and flash my duelist onto site. My teammate gets 1, my molly gets another kill, and my omen gets another kill off my flash. And even Kami says my util is gaining mad value.
You're actually like mad value this game.
And if I have another flash after taking sight, I love doing post-plant flashes where I get active and counter-fight the enemies.
Oh shit.
Never mind. Yo, get ready to jump up. I'm flash your heaven. Ready? Flashing now? 3, 2, 1, pop.
One enemy remaining.
Reloading. Go.
And that sums up all the KAYO basics and fundamentals that you need to know to start dominating with KAYO. Now, I know I didn't put out any lineups in this video, as I'm sure you guys were hoping for, but I'm planning to make a whole series of how to play KAYO on each map, where I'll go over all the lineups and setups that I have. It's good that we started with the basics and the fundamentals, as I feel like there are a lot of KAYO mains out there that don't know the exact fundamentals of how KAYO works. Start getting comfortable with KAYO, start filling him out a little bit more, start understanding him and playing him. And then soon, you can nerd out with me with some lineups. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys want to see more KAYO guides and more content from me, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe. Also, you can join my Discord where the community loves to upload lineups there, and check me out on Twitch. That is all for me. Stay tuned for the lineup videos, and I'll see you guys later. Peace!